UMNO leaders arrive for Supreme Council meeting, DARUL HANA resettlement to be a model project, and contracts for 18 critically delayed projects in Sarawak terminated. Those are the headlines for tonight. Good evening, everyone. You're me, Douglas Elliott, and this is TVS Nightline. We begin with our top story. UMNO leaders gathered at Menara Dato' On today to attend the party Supreme Council meeting on Saturday. It is believed that the top leadership was called to discuss, among many, of the upcoming 15th general election. Our editor, Firdaus Ismail in Kuala Lumpur, is with us from location. Here's the breakdown of what's happening.
Thank you, studio. UMNO Supreme Council leaders gathered this evening at Menara UMNO for a special meeting chaired by its president, Datuk Seri Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi. The meeting started at around 9:30 p.m. and it will discuss various matters, including the call for the 15th general election to be held. Among those expected to attend include UMNO's Vice President Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob, who was largely absent during today's meeting. Earlier today, Zahid advised all UMNO and Barisan Nasional members to be prepared for the general election, which is to be called anytime soon, in response to the urge of dissolving the parliament by a crowd chanting of Bubar Bubar at the Dewan Merdeka Putra World Trade Center. Earlier, Zahid chaired a special session at Dewan Merdeka to share the party's stand on the various issues, including rendering support to the party former president Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak, who is now serving his sentence. Firdaus Ismail reporting from Kuala Lumpur.
Perikatan Nasional Chairman Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin reminded Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob to consult with the party first before setting a date for the upcoming 15th general election. Speaking at the Perikatan Convention on Saturday, the former Prime Minister said that this is to respect the agreement made between the two earlier, as the coalition also forms part of the current government.
Nonetheless, Muhyiddin also asserted that Perikatan Nasional is ready should the general election is to be called anytime soon. During the convention, Muhyiddin also confidently told the audience that the coalition is able to win in the election and urged voters to choose wisely. He noted that when he was the Prime Minister, the Perikatan government's focus was only to help the people go through the difficult tribulation of the COVID-19 pandemic. Also present at the convention were leaders from Parti Pribumi Bersatu Malaysia, Gerakan, PAS, Parti Solidariti Tanah Airku, Sabah Star, and Sabah Progressive Party SAPP.
Back home in Sarawak, the DARUL HANA resettlement scheme will be an exemplary project to be used as the base for other housing projects under the state's Urban Renewal Development Program in the future. Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg said the project will add value to the communities in the area.
Jadi di kakak sekalian hari itu kita naksilah perpindahan ini. Dan DARUL HANA menjadi model untuk kawasan lain. Ketika itu kita gigago molah di Kemunyang, Sibo. Sibo pun ikut ke Datuk juga. Adik kakak kita di Kampung Datuk, mereka yang tidak mempunyai tanah yang sempit akan mendapat kawasan yang baru. Kacak kedak DARUL HANA juga.
Abang Johari also said that several areas in Sarawak, such as Pusa, Asajaya and Gedong, also expressed similar wishes to have redevelopment projects like DARUL HANA. A total of 337 households from Kampung Semarang, Kampung Penglima Seman Lama, and extra lots were involved in the first phase of the relocation to DARUL HANA, while 454 landowners received compensation checks. Contracts for 18 critically delayed infrastructure projects in the state have now been terminated. Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Amar Douglas Uga Umbas, said the new contractors would be appointed to continue with the projects, adding that the appointed contractors must ensure that they are able to deliver as scheduled. Uga, who is also the State Minister for Infrastructure and Port Development, said that one of the challenges faced in the state is the failed promise by the contractors. He added that any projects announced by the Premier and other ministers should be done properly, as the government would be blamed by the public upon the non-deliverance. Thus, he urged the Public Works Department and the Ministry of Infrastructure and Port Development to find effective ways to rehabilitate critically delayed or sick projects. He said among the contracts which had been terminated include the 11.5 kilometers long Kampong Medong, Labrasau, Kampong Klid and Dalat. Awarded in April 2020 and scheduled to be delivered by October this year, the 44.4 million ringgit project now suffered a 550 days delay. Earlier, Uga was met after attending a briefing on government projects implementation performance for the Mukah division on Saturday. He was accompanied by Women, Childhood and Community Wellbeing Development Minister Dato' Sri Fatimah Abdullah. Parti Pusaka Bumiputra Bersatu or PBB is not forcing any of its incumbents to step down to make way for new faces in the upcoming general election. In fact, its president Dato' Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg said that the party has a healthy culture of voluntarily giving way to young blood. While admitting that some have conveyed their interest to step down, Abang Johari declined to name any.
Ada yang PBB tu sikitnya bagus. Kita dalam PBB. Apabila kita rasa dah cukup, khidmat dah cukup, nya secara volunteer mundur diri. Murid dengan orang muda. Kita sit di force.
Abang Johari said this after handing over land titles, compensation and house keys to the household moving to Darul HANA on Saturday. However, when asked on the number of PBB incumbents not contesting, the Premier declined to comment and told the media that it will be announced once the election is called. Currently, PBB holds 14 out of the 31 parliamentary seats in Sarawak.
Youth-centric event called The Stage returns for its second installment in Cebu Esplanade. With over 35 stalls offering food and more, the three-day event runs from August 26 to August 28 and aims to emulate the success of its first series. Met at the opening ceremony on Friday, Bukit Asek Assemblyman Joseph Chiang said the event serves not only to revive the Cebu Esplanade area, but also to attract more visitors to Cebu.
For the stage 1.0, we receive a very encouraging, of the participants to our the stage 1.0. There's approximately every night we have more than 2,000. We have 2,000 public who come here and enjoy a very enjoyable night with the music, with the performing, and at the same time we also have the food fair around. But this time we even have more. We even have more 15 stalls here, so they will be able to attract more people. So in fact, we are expecting more people to join us this time, and with the 3 days, so hopefully it will be more youth, as well as our family, to bring the children here to enjoy a beautiful weekend.
Additionally, Chiang said it plans to organize the Stage 3.0 in November. Apart from food and activities, highlights of the event include the appearance of 2 international artists from the peninsula and a famous local band from Sarawak. The event is sponsored by the Ministry of Tourism, Creative Industry and Performing Arts and Sarawak Tourism Board. Don't go anywhere, because still to come, Ministry expands digitalization program to rural areas. Plus, Moderna sues rival companies Pfizer-BioNTech for patent infringement. Right here on Tvs Nightline, stay tuned. Welcome back. The Malaysian government will ensure that the digitalization agenda, mainly the use of e-wallets, is expanded to the rural areas. Prime Minister Dato Sri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said that the agenda will be done through the Retail Sector Digitalization Initiative, or READY, which is spearheaded by the Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Ministry, KPDN HEP. It is also one of the proactive move in creating an inclusive digital community supported by Bank Negara Malaysia.
Bagi memastikan agenda digitalisasi khususnya penggunaan e-dompet dalam kalangan para pengguna dan peniaga akan diperluaskan ke kawasan luar bandar termasuklah kita juga. Bagi menggalakkan pembayaran wang tunai ini, kerajaan menawarkan inisiatif e-voucher program jualan Malaysia dengan peruntukan RM2 juta mulai 30 Ogos 2022 sehingga 31 Disember 2022. Dan e-voucher boleh dimuat turun melalui aplikasi My Sales Tracker KPDN HEP.
Ismail Sabri added that there is a wide gap in cashless payments between the urban and rural areas, as the government wants the rural population not to be left out of the digital advancement. Ismail Sabri said this while speaking at the launch of the National Level Ready program and the rebranding of the Jualan Murah Keluarga Malaysia JMKM program on Saturday. Also present were the Minister of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs, Dato Seri Alexander Nantalinggi, Director General of the Public Services, Dato Seri Muhammad Shafiq Abdullah, KPD and HEP, Secretary General Dato Azman Muhammad Yusof, and Pahang Public Works, Transport and Health Committee Chairman Dato Seri Nurul Lazali Sulaiman.
Malaysia is in support of the Rohingya community as they struggle to return to their home country Myanmar as citizens. Foreign Minister Dato Sri Saifuddin Abdullah said that the international community should not forget the plight of the Rohingya, which accounts for 1 million refugees in several countries, including Malaysia.
Saifuddin added that Malaysia is also supportive of the efforts of the Rohingya who work together with National Unity Government (NUG) and Myanmar's National Unity Consultative Council (NUCC), which aims to restore normal life and democracy in Myanmar. Saifuddin, who is also Indira Mahkota's MP, told that he has participated in multiple events organized by the Rohingya community, such as the 5th anniversary of the genocide of the Rohingya population that occurred in 2017. Mass number of Rohingya began fleeing the country on August 25, 2017, after the Myanmar army launched an operation that kills, raped, and tortures the Muslim community in Myanmar.
The e-security bulletin, published by Cyber Security Malaysia, serves as a one-stop center for the public to obtain information on cyber security. According to its Chief Executive Officer CEO Dato Amaruddin Abdul Wahab, the bulletin is published periodically twice a year online.
Artikel-artikel memaparkan maklumat serta informasi berkaitan keselamatan cyber yang terdiri dari laporan insiden, perkongsian teknikal, penemuan atau dapatan kajian atau laporan, amalan terbaik dan juga info mengenai kesedaran keselamatan cyber.
First published in 2004, the articles are written by Malaysia's cybersecurity staff based on their fields and expertise. Abdul Wahab hoped that this publication can be of benefit to all parties. The public can access the e-security bulletin through the website listed.
Over the years, a stigma has developed around art, whether it's music, theatre, dance, literary, or visual. There is a common misconception that it's virtually impossible to make a living as an artist. As we dove into the topic of entertainment and performing arts industry in Sarawak this week, we spoke with a few members of the performing arts community to find out whether or not it is a viable career option for the younger generation. Here's a recap with teacher and dance instructor at Sekolah Seni Sarawak, Rejerki Misek.
Okay, so there's one thing that I always tell my students is to be marketable in any education field, be it engineering, education, art, or vocational skills. The students are always being shaped to be marketable to meet the current economy and industry situation in Malaysia, especially, and also including the whole world. So for me, performing arts will always have a high demand as long as it becomes one of human.
As such, he is of the opinion that in order to make it in the industry, one should be able to promote themselves in all available platforms.
Within these 2 years, especially in Sarawak, since Tvs Sarawak has been established in Sarawak, I think it is a good platform for most Sarawakians to explore their talents and work on creating more artistic production. For faster way, you should go to Kuala Lumpur. But we as Sarawakian, we need to develop and we need to create more artistic production for our people, because in Sarawak we have so many rich in cultural activities and also traditions that we should try to highlight to the other world. Before we have TV Sarawak, and then before we have TV Sarawak, I think we don't have that kind of platform, not really a stable platform for those Sarawakian, especially the teenagers or those who really works in the creative industry, to be able to show their talents in performing arts, especially in the cultural things. So we need more than one platform. We need more. So luckily, nowadays we have social media and such as like the YouTube so those independent artists, they can use YouTube, or you can use the social media to show themselves, especially in the performing arts.
However, Rejerki said one should have a backup plan when it comes to their future.
I always see 2 or more choice is better than one. Okay, I always advise the student to excel in both academics skills and also art skills. Taking a major in performing arts is never a problem, but in today's world, the younger generation should also learn entrepreneurial skills and handling social media well enough as to promote themselves in the industry. So meaning that I'm trying to advise the student not to really rely on one skills. They should major, and also they should master in so many other skills, soft skills, so that they will be more marketable, as I mentioned earlier. So maybe they can major. The first thing, they major in performing arts, and then they should learn also some basic skills of entrepreneurs. So it is for them to market themselves in the industry.
You're watching TVS Nightline. Now, U.S. biotechnology company Moderna is suing rivals Pfizer and BioNTech for supposed patent infringement in the development of the first COVID-19 vaccine approved in the United States. The company alleged that they copied technology that Moderna had developed for years before the pandemic. The lawsuits set up a high-stakes showdown between the leading COVID-19 vaccine manufacturers that are the key tool in the fight against the disease.
Following the news, Pfizer's shares fell 1.4% before the bell, while BioNTech was down about 2% on Friday. The lawsuit, which seeks undetermined monetary damages, was filed in U.S. District Court in Massachusetts and the Regional Court of Düsseldorf in Germany. Moderna claimed that Pfizer and BioNTech unlawfully copied Moderna's inventions, and they have continued to use them without permission. Moderna uses its mRNA technology platform to develop medicines that could treat and prevent infectious diseases like influenza and HIV, as well as autoimmune and cardiovascular diseases and rare forms of cancer. The mRNA technology differs from that of traditional vaccines, as it does not use any live virus and it produces spike protein that our body cells could fight. Moderna on its own and the partnership of Pfizer and BioNTech were two of the first groups to develop a vaccine for the novel coronavirus. In response, Pfizer and BioNTech said they have not fully reviewed the complaint but expressed surprise over the litigation.
And wrapping up Nightline tonight, Pakistani Prime Minister Shahbaz Sharif is mourning the extreme devastation caused by a major flood in the Sindh province in Pakistan. In his official tour of the flooded area, Sharif went to the worst affected area, such as Sukur, Rori, Kaipur, and others, via helicopter to get aerial view of the devastation.
जहाज लैंड होने से पहले मैंने चारों तरफ हमने नज़र दौड़ाई तो इस तरह लग रहा था कि दरियाए सिंध एक उसकी तूफ़ानी लहरें उन्होंने तमाम इलाके को अपने लपेट में ले लिया है। और मैं अभी कह चुका हूँ, फिर दोहराता हूँ कि 2010 का जो फ्लड था, तारीख का बहुत बड़ा फ्लड, इसने जन साहब आइए, उसने इस फ्लड ने, इस बारिशी फ्लड ने, मैं समझता हूँ कि उसको भी पीछे छोड़ दिया है और हर तरफ तबाही के आसार नज़र आ रहे हैं। 900 से ज़ायद लोग
The heavy monsoon rains and floods have affected more than 30 million people in the last few weeks, as Pakistani's climate change minister called the situation as a climate-induced humanitarian disaster of epic proportions. Sharif added that livestock and crops have been destroyed and announced a disbursement of over $113 as well as a free medical treatment for those affected by the flood. All major highways linking to Balochistan to other provinces are blocked because of the damaged bridges and landslides. The Pakistani Prime Minister took it to Twitter to inform that he had met with ambassadors and diplomats in Islamabad as part of efforts to mobilize all resources.
Behind every great artwork, there is an inspiration. So does in songwriting, as the songwriter weave together words to form an expressive lyrics. Tomorrow on Sejahtera Asia, Iban singer Eisner Nala will talk about the inspiration and concept behind Iban songs with hosts Juzak and Sharon Kezia, 7:45 a.m. only on TVS Astro Channel 122 and My Free View. See the world closer with TVS as we bring you the latest news update, both locally and internationally, just a click away by heading onto our website at tvstv.my or follow us on our social media. And that's all the time we have for TVS Nightline. I'm Douglas Elliott. Once again, thank you for watching.